Just going to do a quick trade recap on the euro dollar trade that I had this week. It grabbed a little over $1,000, which was nice. So let's get into it. So overall, euro has been in a bit of an uptrend after breaking some of these highs over here, and we had kind of teetered out a little bit and was doing a bit of a complex pullback, and we had broken kind of the most immediate trend line to the downside here earlier in May. So I was kind of looking for a short opportunity coming into this week as we were trading back up into some previous structure. So we just kind of have our kind of main structure little level there. And as we were trading back up in there, you know, this whole region here, you know, this is kind of our last little structure zone before we sold off. And we were trading back up in there, so I was looking for a opportunity this week. So looking at kind of where price really started to teeter out, you can see we kind of started putting in a little bit of a channel here before we broke to the downside. So extending that channel out in time, I wanted to see what kind of confluence lined up around that, and then bringing in some fibs, just a sore thumb high to low. We were kind of in between that 50 and 61.8 right there. And also the lows of that channel kind of created a bit of a bottom channel or bottom trend line that we used as well. We had kind of an initiation point here and an establishment point. You can see it was respected on either side of it. So dragging that out in time, you can see kind of that little X marks the spot. I like to trade around those types of areas. It's just some trend line support or resistance, just like you can have horizontal, so it's angular support or resistance, just like you can have horizontal support and resistance. You know, you can see the horizontal support here, which held again yesterday, essentially where I took profit on this trade. So entry wise, once we kind of reached up into these levels, going down on a lower time frame, you can see that we were just kind of running out of upward momentum, and we kind of put in this little consolidation period, and then we broke to the downside. And fibbing that, keeping in mind the higher time frame fibs, fibbing that to the downside here, just the high to the low. We have that 61.8 fib retracement, and I got in right after, not at the first test or the second test, but kind of as we were starting to roll over a little bit here, I got in. I think my entry was around 30, and stop wise was up above the highs here, about 40 pips. And then I really couldn't have gotten a better exit because I took profit at 59. So it was just right around 70 pips, 71 pips on this trade here, a little over $1,000. And of course, you know, that was pretty much the low of the day. And then coming into Thursday night, London, into Friday, we just kind of rallied out of there. So decent entry, could have been better, but exit was pretty spot on. And you know, it was essentially the reason why I exited was this horizontal support had held, and you know, it held as resistance. So I didn't want to try to traded much lower than that. So that was the trade this week. One of the better trades. Took a couple losers, took a couple winners, but the name of the game is just taking the trades and seeing them through, and taking the losers as well as the winners. So hope this helps.